All right, well, here's a little behind the scenes. I've been doing it for a while to start on this, but yeah, doing it now. So, what I've been doing is taking screenshots of the frames in the video and just kind of looking at it, drawing it in here, each frame, and then there's the first one, and then just taking and then I would take the copy paste, do whatever I need to make the timing match up. I guess I can show it so far first. All right, so, well, that one at the end is actually what I did first. Yeah, and this one is 7 frames. Got one, next one is kind of squished down, and some of the skateboard flipping around, and then easing up there. And something that's been every time I look at things that are done later and then find like stray pixels that I want to erase. That's low priority, I guess. Something that helps a lot with these things is something that I had found online. Okay, so a tip that I found on a forum, is it Nintendo forum or something, to do pixel art is not that. Take one, get yourself 1 pixel here, and you use select and then the copy paste to just take the 1 pixel and then move it to wherever you want it to be. Although you usually want it, this can work, but then it's kind of hard to tell if you got the pixel on one of the green pixels. It's hard to tell where it's going to go because you can't tell where it is. So what you can do is just do a little ways around it. The forum said ideally have a 2 across, 3 down to have this one on the kind of the middle pixel on one of the sides. But if you can get it to where you can tell, then it works. Oh, you can tell if you, so right now the second one is pasted, and if you hold down the left bumper, you can move it around. And when I first went over, now you know that the pixel is going to land on that one, then like in the middle. So if we take it and I'm going to place it here, boom, now it's a little smoother. And if you want to do really precise stuff, you can do that. Just like burnt, burnt, burnt. But you can also use this for something like this, either the whole thing or just part of it. copy paste, and then you can put it wherever you want. And that's good for kind of precise stuff. Also, here's a shortcut thing here. You can look it up yourself, but some handy shortcuts are, instead of going down here and pressing undo, you can hold Y, you press Y, and then the left for undo, and Y and the right. Usually don't do it holding the phone. Y and right to redo. Stuff like that. And then if you want to move around the whole thing, the whole layer, you just hold down that left bumper. Actually, I'm still, it's not doing it. It's not doing anything because I still have kind of selected there. So if you just switch tools there, then it'll work. So you can move, move this around. Like that. Or you can move and say I want the stem over. You can select and then hold L and move it around. Oh wait, nope, that didn't work because I'm on the red layer. So you can just, well, I guess other basic shortcuts, A to switch the tools, which I won't, and then B to switch the layers. Yeah, so back to the black layer, move the stem around. Like that. And well, that whole select thing was useful for this because here I just kind of moved the whole pair down 1 pixel and then like selected like half, kind of the top half of the skateboard. Moved it down, maybe? Did I? Actually, doesn't look like I did. Oh, maybe it was just the wheels. Yeah, I think I just chopped at the wheels. Anyway, and then here, for the rest of the frames, this is the same pair image the whole time. I just moved it up however many pixels. Like these last few is just one pixel up. Oh. It's a light box that you can use to see if you move stuff around like that. It's handy. We got here, and the next one looks like it went up 2. Next one 2 from there. Next one 1 up and 1 up. Yeah, so that's nice, so that you don't have to redraw it. And then, so making these parts, I kind of worked I didn't color anything until, coloring was one of the last steps, especially because one of the colors is just also black, just with the paint, and that makes it, if you're still working to change like the shapes of the body parts, it's not, it's annoying to have the paint there. So just kind of work with this much if you're still drawing kind of all the shapes and all that. We have some notes, so this one is kind of a loop of like bump to the left, bump to the right for a while, and then this one is also bump to the left, bump to the right, looped around a bunch. And the head, the head's the same in all of these, besides, changing the mouth, and besides this one hair that bounces around, but it started all the same. And so there's kind of one, this is where it's standing up straight the most, where it's the tallest, and it's the same with the like the shimmy to the side, and then the hips to the side. And so I would kind of I got started with this one. This was the first pose I drew, and then down here is when it is the most extreme, like, bump. And this one I kind of eyeballed it based on the screenshots. But this is, did I change it to 5? Oh, I guess I did. Originally the head was down 4 pixels, right 3 pixels. I guess I changed it to 5 later to kind of exaggerate. Later I looked at it, I was like, it's kind of not moving much. It's not really like popping and like bumping, really have as much movement as I want, so I made it go down more. But yeah, I would have just the head. So what I would do for that is I would just select the head and be kind of careful around there so I don't catch too many of the pixels from the body, though that can be erased later. Just saves a little effort. Like, I think I got some from the hand there. And this should have everything from that hair piece, because it includes the green. And I would just copy that, and then over here, and I would paste, and then hold that left bumper down, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. And that's exactly, oh, well, the mouth is different, but that's where the head is. Yeah, see, I did catch some on the hand. And then this one it's like, it went down all that way, and then the in-between frames are like coming back up. So this went from, now it's 2 down, 2 to the right, and then 1 down, 1 to the right, and then back to, I called it the anchor frame, because I also based the, the posing and the like positioning and where all the body parts were based on this anchor that I would paste into the frame next to it to light box and see, have something to look at, so I can have it as close to it. Excuse me. And then also with the timing, it's not just an even, going back up and to the left at an even pace. It went like 3 up, well, up and down wise, because up and down wise went down all the way, and then 3 up, 5 to 2, and then 1 up, and then 1 up. So it was like the first frame kind of went back halfway back up, and then just kind of eased back up for the rest, to have more of a, I don't know, just like the motion kind of easing back up. It's like, I don't really have the technical words for it, but they're out there somewhere. Yeah, also with the light box, I don't know how many frames it goes by. Let's see. Anyway, oh, also there are the 2 layers, and the light box only works on 1 layer. You can see from this frame, the red stuff doesn't carry over. Here's anchor. So you can see the bump to the left went out. I mean, if you wanted more of a noticeable, like, you would have the most far out part of the movement to be more out, especially if it's only going to be there for just a frame or two. Yeah, so if I might go back and make that more. Like same with this, it's going to the right that much. Could go more. That's even more than I originally drew, because it wasn't going out enough. Because I would just kind of do this or play it when it was at the very beginning. To kind of see how the movement looks. Yeah. Anyway, I would make, let's see, this part I would make like these four, and then these four, and then, let's see, what was it after? That's what turned into these. And there's a there's a lot of copy and paste after that, but I think so. Once I had the kind of poses there, I think that's when I colored it all, because because after that I copy and pasted them from, just 4 frames into, starting at 10, like 50, it's like 50 frames. So you want to do as much as you can before you copy and paste, so you don't have to keep doing the same thing over and over. You can avoid it. And then after that, they all have the same mouth at that point. So after that is when I duplicate it. At that point they were duplicated this much to where it lines up. And once I had all those, then that's when I had numbered them. Like these two are the same, these two are the same, these two are the same. Well, those aren't it. Then here's the anchor, and that's only there once. By the way, here it's useful. I use it to figure out how many frames per beat. If it's to music, it's good to figure out how many frames per beat you're doing, because that makes it a lot easier. Like this one, with this one, each like bump is the beat. Bump, right, left, right, like that. And I just found a calculator online. So I mean, well, first, because they don't give you the exact frames per second, it's just this simplified thing. I first looked up how many frames per second each of these is, and then used that calculator. And then I listened to the song with a metronome and tried to match it up and to figure out the beats per minute of the song. Anyway, using that, this song with this speed, the most even speed I could have to have a nice, like, close to a whole number for frames per beat as possible was this speed at 7 frames per beat. Oh, and this is a 7. What a little coincidence. I didn't notice until now. And so that's why you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. and it seemed kind of made sense to have the first three each be have two, and then the anchor only be one. It's kind of decided that, and it seems to have worked out. So then, actually, I guess the maybe the mouths were before I think, okay, I did that before doing the mouths, but then because I wanted to see it in motion with the song, because that's kind of rewarding. I wanted to see it. It was rewarding to see it. I was very happy to see it actually moving around along with the song. More touch-ups. I need to do more touch-ups. Will I do it? Because it would be a bunch more work copy and pasting. We'll see. After that, I deleted all the duplicates and went back to just having the 8 frames per just like all the one of each drawn frame. No, I didn't. No. So scratch. Oh, I guess I'll cut this out. So then, yeah, so once I had it all like copy and pasted and timed like this, then I went and numbered my screenshots so that I could go and do the mouth. And because the mouth is not just copied and pasted over every time, and that made it easier to keep track of, everything there. Then did the same kind of thing for this one. That's a big chunk of it. This was actually the first thing I did was the the kickflip, the pear toe kickflip, and then this was the second thing I actually did because it was simple. I was kind of building up. Yeah, very simple, just that amount of frames. Then I noticed in that video there were kind of doing the kind of 2 different frames, just kind of wiggling between. So I used, had however many of the TETOOO frames, and then went back and drew 2 of these with the light box, and then just, copy, paste, and then, second one, copy, paste. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay, and then what I'm doing now, I'm kind of for this segment, I'm partway through because it's I haven't colored yet, and I haven't. Oh, this is kind of different because I do this. These are all the frames. It isn't the same like back and forth repeating as much, but I don't have for some of them. It has the same. The hair, the whole body is the same between these 2 frames, but the mouth is different. So at this point, those are the same. But the way I did this one, it was kind of nice because it's just the torso moving around. For this one, what I did is I first drew this to be the base, and then, oh, by the way, making sure it was, I just wanted it to be, I made this symmetrical with the flip. And I did that by just kind of drawing a little bit up there and flipping to see. That looks like there are kind of 2 pixels in between those, so then you do, actually, grab it, move it 2 over. Now it is in the middle. Then I would have, well, I would have this be red on the red layer. So then I could kind of copy and paste it and have it further down to whichever part I was working on. To make it symmetrical. But then for the next parts where the torso is moving around, I just had the part that was moving around, I had it in a different layer. So I loosely took that part that was going to be moving around and then pasted it onto just another new frame. And then there's this thing, a lot of these, if you hold down the left bumper, do different things. For these, it's mostly making it bigger, while the erase makes it different. That I can bring up later, I guess, but let me erase is part of it. And left bumper things over here, I'm not sure what draft does. I have not figured that out yet, but I guess I can do that later. Oh, I forgot about that. What you can do here is merge one of the layers onto the other. So I'd merge one into 2 and just turn that into the second layer, and then copy and paste this back over. Oh, and then erase the original, paste it back over here, and now I can move it around. I could just take this whole layer and just move it around, slide it around as I want. Takes some time if you want to make sure it's not going up and down with that, but not too bad. And then I would also kind of kept track of how many pixels we're going over. Well, it was more important than the others. Didn't really come up here, but yeah. Well, the first thing I did was go to the part where it was over the most and find where I wanted it there, and then do the in-between frames. And then just kind of see how it looks with this. Also select left to delete the current frame, but be very careful with that. It's the same as pressing this button. Be very careful with it because you cannot undo that. So I maybe just don't do the select left from here if you want to be more careful. Also select right is stick a new frame in there. But yeah, be careful with it, I guess. And start left is go to the very first frame. Start right is go to the very last one. Yeah, so these were, I merged these in earlier, but these were, the torso was red for all those before. And then one of the most recent things I did was erase the black, the layer 1 stuff that was overlapping for when I do merge them back over. Because it's easier when you can just do that and not worry about erasing this layer. And then here, I was like, wait, if I don't want to change any of these parts, I can just do the same thing over here and just work the parts I am changing in the different layer for, for the same reasons. You can just do that. Yeah, and then just kind of looking at it, started with the one that was out the most, went back from there, and yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I'm merging those in. I like to keep each kind of step, do each step one at a time. Kind of helps me keep track of it all. So here I would just, let's see, I'm merging 2 into 1. So do that, do that. There those are. And I did a little bit of the next step earlier because I didn't want to leave movie yet, but now I did. And then after that, I guess you could color or do the mouths in either order here, but I started doing the mouths first. And that's kind of the default for the rest. Yeah, so I would color these. Actually, I'll do all the mouths first. I do want to merge. I guess I could merge these now because that's what. Yeah, just next step. I'm gonna do the merge step, all of them, and then do all the mouths, and then color all of them, and then like copy paste, and then paste it all out to match up. Oh, also, what was I gonna say next? I was gonna say something else first. Can you pause it? And I don't remember what I was gonna say. Something that is nice. I figured it out first with the mouths. There is a decent amount of time where you can just. There are times where you use the same mouth shape. Like that might have been the same one. I don't know. You use the same mouth shape later on, so you can just copy. This one was already blank, but I wanted it there. Oh, that was on the red layer. Yeah, you can reuse certain mouth shapes, especially if it's, they're singing the same syllable, same vowel, whatever. And the same happened with the hair swooshing side to side, because I really, if you can find a corner to cut that you're okay with cutting, that doesn't, infringe on your how much work you want to put into it, then they're nice to find. Because back when, I'll use these because it's still in the red layer. So it's really just, let's see, here, and there, and here. This is all the way up left end. That's what that one means. And I think those are it, yeah. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is these just kind of back like 1 pixel to the right. And then this, it's the same thing, but flipped around. And I did the same thing flipped around by going to the red layer. Red layer, copy, let's see, we'd erase this. Let's say I wanted this but flipped on another frame. I'll do that and keep it in. And since this is the only thing I'm doing with this whole red layer, you just flip it over. And a bunch of these frames, when it goes back and forth, it's just the same thing but flipped over. Yeah, and there's that, and then did this with just kind of the light box. I put another one of these. Actually, I drew this frame here because it was right next to it, and I could just light box the. I did it more slowly than that, but that's pretty much what this is. Yeah, that is pretty much, that's all I'm thinking of right now for behind the scenes. But also it's faster. Instead of holding this down, when you're at 7 speed, this is faster, so I do that. Unless it's at the very end, in which case you would start right to left. Oh, another thing, here it kind of fades in, and I didn't need to redraw it in a fancy way. That was using this. Oh, it erases part of it. That's awesome. So you don't have to like go back later and try to do the precise shapes and everything with the paint. But something that I figured out while doing this that I never realized, I mean, I didn't know about these. I think I did as a kid. Anyway, something I figured out during this is how much this is not the same every time you use it. Let's use on the red. It depends on whatever this paint is. Then you go higher up, go back to the eraser, and it's erasing more. And then even more. And then, guess what? Yet even more. And this just kind of, this different pattern, that's neat. Yeah, so, and then that is kind of a gradient, and that's how, and I use that to have this fade in. So that's a cool thing that I had figured out with it. Yeah, so that's behind the scenes